Now at 10, a suspect is shot after a pursuit over a stolen vehicle in northeastern Oklahoma. Plus, the work going on behind the scenes to nail down a new congressional map in Missouri and legislation that would make it harder to change the Missouri Constitution.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Ottawa County, Oklahoma Sheriff's Office says a suspect was shot after a chase. This is KOAM News at 10. The Sheriff's Office says at around 4:30 this afternoon, deputies started a chase with a stolen vehicle. The driver drove to Delaware County and crashed. They say the suspect then got out of the vehicle and pulled a gun. The deputy shot that suspect once in the leg. The suspect ran off again but was arrested shortly afterward. The Sheriff's Office is not releasing any more information at this time. The Joplin Fire Department is investigating the cause of a fire that burned cars in a carport behind the Mayflower Apartments in the historic Murfreesburg neighborhood. Witnesses reported an explosion or pop followed by flames just before 9 last night. The fire spread to the carport roof. No word on how many cars were burned. It's getting pretty chilly out there. Doug Heddy.
It is. We had a cold front that dropped through during the early afternoon hours, but still it actually turned out to be a pretty nice day. We had a lot of clouds, a few random showers, but temperature's good. 58, started at 44, average highs 49 degrees for this time of the year. Any clouds or random showers we had earlier pretty much rotated off to our south. Clouds will start to slowly increase again as we go through the overnight hours. This little back wave is going to rotate to our south, but besides that, we look pretty good. It is cooling down mid to upper 30s into the lower 40s in our southern counties, but it's going to be cold tonight. We're going to drop through the 30s. You can see a few random flurries down into lower 20s by tomorrow morning. So a very cold start, and we just don't warm up much. We warm up through the 20s, only up to about 36 by tomorrow afternoon. Well, we also have a big storm system rolling in next week, so we're going to take a look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Missouri senators are working behind the scenes to try to find a compromise on how to redraw the state's 8 U.S. House districts. The Senate met in a rare Friday session to continue debating congressional redistricting. A majority of the Republican-led chamber has indicated its support for a map that's projected to continue the state's current representation of 6 Republicans and 2 Democrats. But a coalition of conservative Republicans has filibustered while pressing for a map that could give the GOP a shot at winning 7 seats. The debate began Monday and has spanned much of the week. A Missouri bill would make it harder for citizens to amend the state's constitution. The bill passed the House yesterday. Under the measure, a constitutional amendment would require a 2/3 vote. Now, currently, state law requires only a simple majority. The proposal also would require petition gatherers to collect more signatures and to get signatures from every Missouri congressional district in order to put a proposal to a public vote in the first place. If passed by the state Senate, the measure to raise the bar for changing the Constitution would go before voters. If approved by voters, it would go into effect in January of 2023. It was originally set to take effect 30 days after winning approval, but Republican State Senator Adam Schradran said he changed the implementation date at the request of groups that are trying to get recreational marijuana on the ballot this November. The U.S. Senate has advanced a bill that reignites the debate over tech platforms' legal protections. The legislation, known as Earn It Act of 2022, targets how websites handle child sexual abuse. Under the bill, states could bring civil and criminal lawsuits against a tech platform that knowingly facilitates the spread of child pornography. Right now, tech platforms can only face federal prosecution. The bill would also create a commission that would publish voluntary best practices, effectively telling websites how they may earn their liability protections. Critics say this opens the door for censorship and overreach by the government. They also fear it would undermine encryption technology that's essential to protect email accounts and sensitive business secrets. The Earn It Act sailed through the Senate Judiciary Committee with unanimous support. The Biden administration is now warning a Russian invasion of Ukraine could come within days before the end of the Beijing Olympics. A U.S. official tells CBS News that Russia continues to build up its forces near the Ukraine border and now has close to 80% of the forces in place needed for a full-scale invasion. Natalie Brand has the latest on the Ukraine situation from the White House.
U.S. intelligence says Russia has enough forces along the Ukraine border to launch a major military action, prompting the White House to step up its warning to Americans in Ukraine to get out.
As we've said before, we are in the window when an invasion could begin at any time, should Vladimir Putin decide to order it.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the U.S. does not believe the Russian president has made a final decision, but says the risk has increased.
We have a sufficient level of concern based on what we are seeing on the ground and what our intelligence analysts have picked up that we are sending this clear message.
Sullivan said a potential invasion would involve what he described as an onslaught of massive force.
If a Russian attack on Ukraine proceeds, it is likely to begin with aerial bombing and missile attacks that could obviously kill civilians without regard to their nationality.
The State Department says there are more than 6,000 Americans in Ukraine, but that's just those registered with the embassy.
The president will not be putting the lives of our men and women in uniform at risk by sending them into a war zone to rescue people who could have left now but chose not to.
A White House official says President Biden and Russian President Putin have a call scheduled for Saturday morning. On Friday, the president spoke to European and NATO leaders. President Biden says they are united in diplomatic efforts and deterrence measures, ready to impose massive economic costs if Russia chooses further aggression. A new CBS News poll finds around 53% of Americans believe the U.S. should stay out of negotiations around Russia and Ukraine. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A senior defense official tells CBS News President Biden directed Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin to send the remaining 3,000 soldiers of the 82nd Airborne Infantry Brigade combat team based at Fort Bragg to Poland. That's in addition to several thousand troops the president has sent to NATO allies as a display of support. Still ahead, we're going to meet this year's VFW Missouri Teacher of the Year and 4 tips for keeping your Super Bowl food spread safe. A Southwest Missouri middle school teacher has been selected for a special award. The VFW is honoring Michael McCormick as Missouri's Citizenship Education Teacher of the Year. McCormick is himself a teacher. He's been a teacher at Westview School in Newton County for the past 10 years. The school held a special assembly this afternoon recognizing him.
Well, I feel very loved by the school and the community. Like I said, I've been here 10 years, and to actually come out here and see this was, just fills your heart with pride.
Our congratulations. The McCormicks will travel to St. Louis tomorrow, where Michael will receive his award from the state VFW. Millions of Americans are going to tune into the Super Bowl on Sunday, and food safety experts warn, well, there's a big issue. We need to be aware of potential dangers with the tailgate spread. Mandy Gaither has 4 tips to keep your food safe.
It's that time of year again, football and your favorite foods, but don't get tackled by bad choices.
There's going to be a lot of, food that's left out for a really long time, and that just naturally comes with an increased risk for foodborne illness.
Topping the list of favorite Super Bowl snacks, chicken wings, followed by pizza, chips and dip, burgers, nachos, and chili. All of that has a potential of going bad if not stored properly.
Something to focus on is not leaving your foods out for more than 2 hours.
Food safety experts say you can avoid fumbling on Sunday following 4 tips. Wash hands and clean surfaces before and after handling raw meat and poultry. Use separate cutting boards, plates, and utensils to avoid cross-contamination. Ensure foods are cooked properly by using a food thermometer. And if you're not eating the food right away, chill it. Cold food should stay at 40 degrees or below. Hot foods need to be at 140 degrees or higher.
If you want to keep your foods hot or cold, you can use something like a slow cooker, or putting the oven on low or the stove top on low. Or for something that's cold, you can either keep your items in the refrigerator, swap out smaller portions every once in a while, or you can use something like an ice bath.
If perishable food's been left out longer than 2 hours, toss it. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If you're ordering food and don't eat it right away, be sure to use a food thermometer to make sure the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees when reheating meat or poultry. If heating food in the microwave, be sure to stir the food to ensure that it's heated throughout. Later, the top 2 girls basketball teams in the SEK face off with conference number 1 on the line.
Plus, it's turning quite a bit colder for us tonight into the weekend. We're going to take a look at that coming up. All week long, we had really good temperatures, especially for the middle of February. Temps were all into the 50s or 60s each and every day, which is pretty hard to beat. Unfortunately, it's going to cool down as we go into the weekend, but it is the weekend, so that's pretty good. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort parking lot filling up. It's Friday night, heading into the weekend. Indigo Sky just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, look at our temperatures. We had a cold front that rolled through right around the noon hour, so we warmed into the upper 50s. We slowly dropped through the afternoon. We're still slowly dropping. Most of us mid to upper 30s to mid 40s in our southern counties, but our temps are going to continue to go down as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Plus, we got this northerly wind at about 10 to 15, so it's going to be a little bit breezy, which will make it feel a little bit colder than what it actually is. 7th and Range Line, currently outside, we're sitting at about 40. We have northerly winds at about 10, humidity is at 53%. As we go through the rest of the overnight hours for us tonight, we are going to get some clouds. We may even get a few random flurries in our southern counties, but any sprinkles or showers that we had earlier today, these are gone, heading away from us. This little back wave is going to rotate just to our south, so it may give us a few random flurries later on tonight. Check this out. Here's our jet stream. You can see the arrows. Alaska, Canada dips in. We can't get any big storm systems with this huge ridge. It will start to break down, though, by the time we head into next week. For the weekend, it's just cold. We're going to start at around 20 in the morning hours. We don't warm up that much tomorrow, but we are going to have the sun. So that is the good news. Here's your day planner. We'll start at 22, 31 by noon, high temp at 36, a little breezy, north winds 5 to 15. Tomorrow night, back down into lower 20s once again, and then as we head into Super Bowl Sunday, a little bit warmer. We go into lower 40s, not bad. We're going to have plenty of sunshine as we go through the weekend. All right, let's go out west. We're moving into next week. That ridge breaks down. Here comes our storm system. It dips all the way into the southwestern parts of the U.S., and then it shoots out into the central plains. It's going to cause severe weather across southern plains, upwards of a foot of snow across the central and northern plains. We're kind of squeezed in between as this system works in. So mid-50s on Monday, Valentine's Day, 60s on Tuesday, thunderstorms late Wednesday, and then heavy amounts of rain Wednesday night into Thursday morning. The system tracks right on top of us. We could get some strong to low-grade severe storms. If the system shifts a little farther south, we're going to get a little bit more snow. If it shifts a little bit farther north, we're going to get more severe weather. So we got to watch it as we go into next week. Most of the heavy snow stays mainly just to our north, but still something we want to watch. All right, 36 tomorrow, 43 on Sunday, 55 on Valentine's Day. Don't forget Valentine's Day. 64 Tuesday, 63 Wednesday. I just put 20s on Thursday because we're going to drop into the 20s, but it's short-lived. Check this out. By next weekend, we're back into the 50s to near 60 degrees by the following Monday.
A lot of people appreciate that reminder. Do not forget Valentine's.
Yeah, usually your spouses get a little upset about that.
That could happen. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, Webb City aims to hand Nixa its first conference loss of the season, and Labette County and Fort Scott square off with first place in the SEK on the line. Jacob Leonard has that and more. Up next.
We have a big-time girls basketball matchup in southeast Kansas tonight with Labette County hosting Fort Scott. Now, these two are the top 2 teams in the SEK, and the winner tonight leaves in first place in the conference. Now, the Tigers and Grizzlies both ranked in the top 10 in Class 4A. Fort Scott's 10, Labette County number 8. The first quarter, Madison Brannon fakes and sinks the 3. Fort Scott, though, closes the first half really strong. Jessie Comstock knocks down a 3 of her own. She gets 9 tonight. This game, it was as good as we expected. Tigers up 2 at the break. Now in the third, Fort Scott dominates the quarter. Abby Altick sinks the three. She scores a team-high 13. Tigers up by 10. But Labette not laying down at home. They come storming back in the fourth. Brannon jumper there, 15 points for her. Then 30 seconds on the clock. Anna Dean ties the game up with that. Dean gets a game-high 17. This one takes 2 4-minute overtime periods, but Fort Scott hits their free throws. Tigers win and take over first place in the SEK 55-53 in double overtime.
We expected nothing less from Labette County. They're just not going to roll over, like I said. They've been defending conference champs for the last 5 or 6 years, so it wasn't going to be easy. You know, yes, as a coach, you want to close it out when you're up 10, but we knew they were going to make a run, and we knew we were going to have to make plays down the stretch. But now it's about how we handle success. Tonight was a great win, but it's all for naught if we don't come out ready to practice on Monday.
In the boys' game, Labette County aims to stay hot against the Tigers and pick up their 8th win in the last 9 games. Now, they did not do overtime in this one, but it was a good one. Grizzlies win at 52-44. Labette County is now 6-3 in the SEK. In Southwest Missouri, 2 COC heavyweights square off tonight in Webb City. The Cardinals welcome in the Nixa Eagles. Webb City's 15-6 overall and ranked 8th in the state in Class 5. Nixa's number 4 in the state in Class 6. They're 5-0 in the COC and have won 20 consecutive conference games. First quarter, Trey Rhodes working inside. 10-4 run for the Cardinals to begin the game. They're up 2 after 1. Second quarter was Nixa's quarter. Keith Pipemeyer hits the 3. Eagles go to break up 23-17. Now in the third, Cole Vaden, check this out. Such a nice pass to Caden Turner on the alley-oop. Cards rally to tie it up going to the fourth, but the Eagles would close it out. Jarrett Nelson spins through traffic. Double-double, 12 points, 11 boards for Nelson. Nixa gets by Webb City tonight 50-40. Well, the Uniontown Eagles have been one of the best small school girls basketball teams in southeast Kansas this season. They're 15-1 overall, have won 12 straight games, and are ranked 10th in the state in Class 2A. Tonight, Uniontown on the road against Southeast, looking to stay rolling. Early on for the Eagles, it's Riley Coulter. 3 from the right side. More from Coulter in a moment. On the other end, Audrey Jacobs driving and scoring for the Lancers. Southeast within 2 at halftime, but then in the second half, it's Uniontown starting to pull away. We promised more Riley Coulter, so here it is. By one defender, then by another, plus the foul. The lead is 9. Pretty low scoring game tonight, but Uniontown makes it 13 in a row, winning 28-18.
I think we didn't come in as focused as we should. So we're a little bit flat with our shooting and aggressiveness on defense and kind of letting our basketball IQ slip a little bit at times. But they settled in and they do those things that we work on and practice every day, and knew that it's going to work out if we just trust in the process.
In the boys' game, Eagles looking for the road sweep, but it went the other way. Southeast leads that one from start to finish, winning 74-38. Well, Girard High School senior Brecken Troike signs today to continue his football career at the next level. And Troike will be staying in Southeast Kansas, moving on to play for Pittsburgh State. And Troike will play linebacker for the Gorillas. He was a first-team All-State selection for Girard as a senior last fall, helping the Trojans go 10-1 and win a conference championship. Now, his high school coach is a former PSU All-American, and his grandpa played corner for the Gorillas. So landing at Pitt State, not really a huge surprise.
Me and my grandpa, we used to always go. He's actually right there. He played cornerback there, so it's crazy to me. Me and Coach, we always been talking about Pitt State, and I've always wanted to go there. They have some of the best coaching staff around, and very thankful for the opportunity to play there.
Well, today is opening day for Missouri Southern softball. The Lions are in Oklahoma City playing in the Edmond Regional Festival. Southern facing Midwestern State in their first game. Plenty of offense. They win big, 17-8 this afternoon. Leighton Withers goes 2 for 3 with a double, driving in 4 runs on the day. Pittsburgh State also on the field today. They're in Bentonville, aiming for a 3-0 start against William Jewell. They needed extra innings, but a Cammie Zimmerman sacrifice fly in the 9th gives them a 4-3 win over the Cardinals. Missouri Southern baseball, they're playing where it's a little bit warmer. The Lions in West Palm Beach, Florida, facing Palm Beach Atlantic today. Southern falls in a pitcher's duel 3-0. Freshman Cole Gaiman, a Webb City kid, pretty good in his first career start for Southern, going 4 2/3, giving up just 1 run and striking out 3. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
To honor a local veteran, Specialist Scott West served in the U.S. Army. He fought with the Air Cavalry out of Stewart, Georgia, and we are proud to salute Specialist Scott West, tonight's four-state hero. NASA's new space telescope today sent its first pictures back to Earth from 1 million miles away. That's where the telescope is, 1 million miles away. You could call this a selfie from the telescope, which launched on Christmas Day. Now in position, the telescope was able to do a trial run test of its iconic gold mirror and near-infrared camera. Yeah, the blurry pictures, but at this stage, that's to be expected as NASA scientists fine-tune the equipment. Beyond the selfie, the telescope also captured a bright solitary star in the distant Ursa Major constellation. NASA is promising that when it's fully functional, the new telescope could forever change the way we see the universe. This thing is 4 times the distance of the moon from the Earth. It's orbiting that far out there.
That's crazy.
Yes, but it doesn't have the moonlight to obstruct its view of the stars, so it's going to send back some spectacular pictures in the coming years.
Nice.
You've been keeping an eye on the sky. It's getting colder out there.
Not quite outer space,
No.
just a little
Inner
tiny bit.
space.
Yeah. It looks okay. It's going to be chilly over the weekend. 36 for us tomorrow, 43 on Sunday. Valentine's Day, pretty good. Thunderstorms rolling in by Wednesday.
Final sports note.
We got plenty of local college basketball right here tomorrow afternoon. The Missouri Southern women are aiming for their 11th straight win against Northwest Missouri tomorrow. That begins at 1:30.
It's impressive. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend, and let's make it a great one.